If you don't know it, many of us are in a mansion of many rooms. This is the Egyptian Book of Gates. This is a place in our spiritual awakening where we have stepped outside of the matrix, the world, and we have opened scrolls or downloads from invisible energies. If you're Christian, then these words are also in the Bible. It just depends on how you look at the Bible. For instance, when Jesus was 12 years old, he left the temple. So you're leaving the church, you're leaving the Bible, and you go and you don't come back until you're powerful. When Harry Potter was 12, he left the Muggles. He came back powerful. Dorothy Gale left the Munchkins, came back powerful. This Hogwarts or Emerald City is an allegory that the Egyptians called the Egyptian Book of Gates. You can call it Hotel California. You can call it the Castle of Cinderella or the Tower of Tangled. It is a castle or a mansion of many rooms in which the 7 spirits of God that are in the Bible come and counsel you. And these 7 spirits are invisible. They do not have a name. They do not need a name because they are fragments and flames of God. And if you are dominated by the flame of God, there is no condemnation for anything that you say or do. Because it is not by you that you do these things, it is by the will of God, your higher self, the Holy Spirit, the invisible realm. And your heart is always focused on the invisible, while the mind is always focused on the physical world. So while we're scrolling through TikTok or looking at the news of the world, our mind wants to focus on all of the dual fights of the weather, of occurrences that are affecting or infecting us on the physical realm. But your heart wants you to learn and wants us all to learn how to feed your spirit, which is invisible. And we don't feed our spirit by indulging in our emotions, our thoughts, or the world, or the physical reality. We feed our spirit by leaving the temple and going away where we fast from the world. We fast from certain foods. We fast from certain people. We fast from being messy. We begin to realize cleanliness is next to godliness. We fast from lies. We fast from indulgences. We fast from low self-worth or self-importance. And this awakening will take us to not only becoming a student of the invisible voice of God, but also teach us through a very slow process of speaking the voice of God, doing the will of God with our hands, walking the steps of God, and finally embodying both flesh and spirit. And when spirit dominates the flesh, nothing can be against you because God is for you. And greater is spirit within you than you are in the world. So welcome. My name is Mary Moses, and today we're going to be reading for Misty. I am an oracle. I've been doing this on TikTok for almost 5 years. And scrying is an ancient art. It comes from the root word of scripture. Scripture shouldn't have been in words necessarily. They were originally pictures. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. Word is sound that forms a mandala or a sacred geometrical shape. These sacred geometrical shapes can be interpreted. They could actually have telepathic energies or messages within them. So when you become a scryer, you are actually creating a mirror, and you become a mirror of God. And if you have faith, as small as a mustard seed, you might find some truths that are startling about the unseen world and about how our consciousness can get trapped into the mind of the deceiver. And if you are trapped in the mind of the deceiver, then nothing will work in your favor because God is not for you. And so many of these truths that we see in the form of scrying isn't for me to make you believe as I believe. My job is to be nothing and yet everything. My job is to believe nothing and yet everything. My job is to encompass all religions, all thoughts, and transmute it and dissect it and perfect it through illumination to bring about the perfect timeline, the perfect truth, the perfect balance for you. So this is not about a cult or any way for any of you who are listening to follow or even believe anything that you see. My job is to simply show this person exactly what Spirit wants to say. So this message and this video isn't just for Misty, because if you're here, you're probably meant to hear this message. This video will last about an hour, and if you miss any portion of it, you can go to Mary Moses Art on my YouTube channel. If there are any jerks on this live, just let them be jerks. Just ignore them, okay? The accusing spirit will always come to try to push you away, and if it pushes you away, then maybe you're not meant to be here. So just believe in divine timing. So welcome, Misty. Let us talk to Mushi, our butterfly. Say hello, Mushi. Mushi has rose essential oil to teach you something today. What is Mushi the butterfly teaching you? Everything is frequency. It's either life frequency or death. A healthy human resonates about 70 hertz, 70 to 100 hertz frequency. A person with a compromised immune system is about 60 hertz, and if you are about to die, you are about 25 hertz and less. Why did gurus wear linen cloaks or wool cloaks? Because those linens and clothing resonate at 5,000 hertz frequency. Mushi has rose essential oil, which is over 320 hertz frequency. When we're thinking of life or death, food can be life or death. Thoughts can be life or death because you are water, and water hears your thoughts. Thoughts and words affect water. Since you are mostly water, the water within your body either looks like a beautiful snowflake or it looks like something that isn't true. Something that isn't true makes a shape that doesn't make any sense. So truth always makes a perfect snowflake or a perfect shape. So your thoughts, if it's perfect, will affect the water in your brain. You have 88% water in your brain. It's always very beneficial to carry around rose essential oil or frankincense. Frankincense has over 147 hertz frequency. Or wear cotton clothing. Organic cotton clothing is 100 hertz frequency. This will help you to become a better healer. When we think in terms of frequency, you will think in terms of life or death. And there are people who resonate with life and people who resonate with death. And there are colors and sounds and acts that either will bring you more life or death. And so when we think about it like that, the reason I anoint your piece with rose essential oil is to bring life to you. Never the deceiver, never lies, never death energy, only life, which is truth and the way. So we take a piece of paper, which is a dead tree, and we cover it with charcoal, which is also a burned tree. And we bring the tree back to life, called the tree of life, in the art known as scrying. The first piece I'm going to do for you is I'm going to see where you are and what you need to do to balance yourself. And I'm going to tell you exactly where you are. And if you have any energies or principalities or powers who are helping you along your path, and the second piece I'm going to do for you is what I call your divinity. It's going to be a canvas piece that is going to help you to shift timelines. So believe in magic. Come take my hand. You should know me. I've always been in your mind. You know I will be kind. I'll be guiding you. Be careful of reptilian energy. You are riding a goose, a mother goose. This means that you carry souls from one world to the other. You're the carrier of souls. You should be healing, but you are more than that. You are like Isis, or the mother that carries souls on a chariot that is a mother goose. When I see someone who is in the mother goose, I see somebody who helps people cross over. Now, you may do this on the astral realm. Now, you're also seated around a table where people are doing a seance, holding hands over a white table. And there's a female energy covering her face. And so I'm not sure why there's this female covering their face. And you also have a bull man here also. So be careful of reptilians and the deceiver energy. People who are the archons, they want to trap your belief system into their belief system, and it will trap your energy into their timeline. The entire world is made up of belief. So if you believe as someone else does, instead of what your higher self wants you to believe, you will be under their power, not your own power. So let's go ahead and bring forward you. You have a white feather in your hair. This is the white feather of many things. And you have this, and you have an ear. So you're going through the listening and hearing. And this is the goose. And you're on a chariot. You're actually carrying the goose also. And this is a table. And around the table are females mostly. They all have cards in their hands, so maybe tarot cards. It looks like a group of women that are at a table. And this table is significant. You have a man or somebody here wanting to turn around and talk to you. Somebody who is holding a star. And a little elephant. Like this. And they have a fish on their head. It's a hammerfish, actually. The fish on the head is an Asian concept. It means good luck. It's the age of Pisces, and the elephant is the age of Pisces. It's a prison. And so this is a communication that you are going through a star. And the moon symbol, you are leaving behind darkness, ignorance, and you're going through a pole shift. So all these women at the table, this is you connecting. You are now no longer in the body of the fish or the age of Pisces. You have ascended to the age of Aquarius, which means you're probably in the body that dominates Ya, which is the moon. That's Freya, Gaia, Emma Ya, Haya, Sophia. And so this woman here with her eyes covering her face, you do have this bull here. This is maybe a communication of why you even came here to begin with. It has the letter M like this. And it looks like he's holding your face, maybe in a past life, Molech, the letter M, he's the bull man. They sacrificed children, and I'm not sure if it's an evil thing, I'm not really sure. But here you are. They have your consciousness. And there's a snake, but it's the DNA. And your DNA was messed with. And that's why you came down here. Then here's that woman covering her face is actually a tower. And there's a light on the tower, a doorway. This is a crown. In your past life, your crown was taken by a lower energy like Molech. Perhaps you were sacrificed. Perhaps you were just thrown. And anyway, this is the story of your life. You were sent to a prison here. And now I can see where you are now. You may be asked to work for some kind of galactic federation or something, because there's an airplane pointing up, and there's a stadium, and you went through a judgment, and there's somebody hanging like a hanged man. And now you are here as like the mother goose to carry souls as a healer from one world to the next. And you have a fairy, you have a flame here, and then of course you have the triquetra here, the threefold flame there. So all these women, they're seated at this table, and I believe that this is a reflection that you are being looked at to see which body you're going to be going into next. The age of Aquarius isn't like the age of Pisces. It's like being sorted with the sorting hat. And you're going to be sorted into the body of a goddess. And the body of the goddess, there's that's the 1111 here. There are 4 doorways. So you made it to the flame. This is spirit. You got out of the water, you're going to the flame. This is the number 8, infinity. The 8th flame from the Hopi. You're going to have a lot of things that you're going to be doing. There's a place that you went to. It's a television. It's a movie screen. There's the Eiffel Tower there for some reason. And all these people in the audience are watching this movie screen. This reminds me of Scientology. Some kind of mind control. Your soul went up like lightning, and you and many other souls that are connected to your soul were in this place that looks like a stadium, and you were watching this giant movie screen. It's a prison. It says 5-5, and then you went from 5-5 to 11-11. So yeah, so this is just the story of your life. So you've been given the golden ticket to the golden age of Aquarius, and you're being sorted. You're in the triquetra, you're in the threefold flame. You have to balance giving with receiving, which means not taking on the sins of the world. The reptilian I saw was over here. And this reptilian looks like this. And like this. And they have this over their head. Like that. And there's this angel that's taking your face and looking at your face like your consciousness, like in a book. And we cannot bring the Voldemort to Hogwarts. We can't bring a reptilian energy to heaven. Hogwarts is the body of Freya. She had the warthog. And so why you in your past were connected to Moloch may be something in your past life. And they took your crown, meaning they took your consciousness. And they used your consciousness. They took you to a place where they put you in front of a movie screen and they brainwashed you. And you were in okay, so it says M A are... Okay, so you were taken to Mars. And on Mars, there's a stadium and there's a television screen. Your consciousness, I don't mean you, went there and then you were brainwashed. Now, you were bounced to a higher realm. You were given the opportunity to bounce to a higher realm and to balance yourself and to hear. You're here to hear the voice of God. And there's a number 7 as a hangman. And on the hangman is a rat hanging. And the rat hanging on the number 7 reflects that you went to the lower realm of 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 wonders of the world, 7 musical notes, 7 metals, 7 wounds of Christ, 7 spirits of God, 7 chakras, 7 scrolls, 7 seals, 7 wonders of the world, including the Eiffel Tower. And you were sent to a prison of the moon to transcend darkness, to get to the light, which is illumination, to become the mother goose, to help people ascend. I believe that your gift isn't just like Reiki and tarot or being a psychic or an oracle, which you have the letter O for oracle. On the spirit realm, like the butterfly effect, you're a time traveler. You can, your higher self knows if someone is about to die, and you can literally go to them on the spirit realm and you can touch them and heal them where they never experienced death. So our consciousness is easily trapped by other people's energy. And so what you're being asked to do with this triquetra at this time is, when Harry Potter was 12 years old, here you are at 12. He left the Muggles. Jesus left the Bible at 12. We cannot allow our past, our pain. You have to go through a recapitulation to make sure you don't bring the Voldemort into Hogwarts or the reptilian energy into the heavenly Aquarius realm. It's very much like Willy Wonka. So you've been given the golden ticket, Misty. If we bring selfishness, arrogance, pride, self-importance, low self-worth, if we do not have the heart of a child and live in the moment, yes, you were given the golden ticket, but yes, you can be sent to the garbage chute. This is a test. We're being tested at this time. Willy Wonka reflects that we are going to a mansion of many rooms. Jesus said, "My Father's house is a mansion of many rooms." You go to wear a top hat. Your mind is being expanded. And we will be given the keys to our kingdom, and we can leave the narcissistic world behind, kind of like Cinderella with the evil stepmother and stepsisters, to go to the mansion and wear the glass slippers. But we cannot bring the reptilian narcissistic energy with us. It's not allowed. We have to have the heart of a child. And then once we have the heart of a child, we will become like Charlie, humble, thankful, giggly, laughy, joyful, live in the moment, and dance around very heavy, serious energies that want to trap us in their kingdom because they want us to be their servant. And that's not what it is in the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is that I am nothing and yet everything. I am no one and yet everyone. And people who are really serious about everything and adopting that adult mind, and they don't have that magical heart, it'll be difficult for them to fully step into their power. So have faith, believe in magic, grab the golden ticket. Before we move on to your canvas piece, I'm going to explain why you have 3 people around your table, why you have the triquetra, why you have the number 10, 1111, and MM here, and the number 8. So you're the mother goose. What this is saying to you is you are going into the body of the mother. We were all born in the Ya gods. Yam is the god of chaos, connected to Baal. Dagon, the fish god. These are all ocean gods. And of course, the bull god, Molech, Yahshua, Yahweh. These are all Yah gods. Yah means moon. And when we were born, darkness dominated the light. Our mind dominated our heart, and flesh dominated spirit. It wasn't really correct. This is because we were very young souls. So as young souls, we were the teardrop. We were the teardrop upside down. And we had to go through a rebirth in order to awaken and to grow our souls larger. So Yahshua means Yah, the moon, dominating Shua, which is the ray of the sun. And so darkness dominating light. We had to move through the body of that to get to Christ consciousness. So we were the tear. But like an embryo, we all double and become born again or twice born. And this doubling will encourage us to go through a pole shift. So when we are the teardrop, the vesica piscis that's in the center here is facing down toward the number 6. This is the lower realm. This is this realm down here. When we are not born again, we are a number 10. We have an awareness that we have a physical body, but we have no awareness that we have an invisible double self. But then the sun flips its polarity every 11 years, and you may begin seeing the number 11, like the two towers from 9/11 that stood like the number 11 in front of a body of water that looks like the number 11. This is the letter M. This is the letter W. The sun flips its polarity every 11 years. 9/11 equals 11. And so you went through a pole shift. Now you're facing 12. You are the Christ leaving the temple. You're going to a mansion of many rooms to become powerful. This is the Egyptian book of Gates. You're in a boat. So now the vesica piscis is going up. This is the number 8. Water meeting the flame. Spirit dominating flesh. You follow the white rabbit, Neo. And so this, since you are at 12 o'clock, is you getting messages from the sun instead of the moon. And so there's a lot of downloads you're going to be receiving from the sun. You'll see the number 111, 111, 111, which is the magical number of the sun, which the sun flips its polarity every 11 years. Jesus Christ has 11 letters in his name. He left the Bible at 12. He came back and got 12 disciples, which him and his 12 disciples equals 13. A coven of witches is 13, which is the new covenant. The coven. Now, your next step is the triquetra. What you have to understand about the vesica piscis, it is a painful time. The vesica piscis means you're going to go through many things. Number 1, you're in the boat. You're in the ark. You're in the celestial ship of Ra. You are in the mansion of many rooms. You are in a yellow submarine. You are in Hotel California. You're in a place of learning. It's growing. You will be given the Holy Grail. You will be given eternal life with the Ankh. You are in the all-seeing eye. You are in the eye of the needle. You will be required to have the heart of a child and to be nothing, meaning believe nothing, feel nothing, and only be patient and quiet and listen to God and obey God. God is invisible, and your heart chakra it actually has an electromagnetic energy that connects with the electromagnetic energy of the sun. Now that you've gone through the pole shift, you entered Solomon's temple. Solomon is Sol, sun, that dominates Oman, the moon. Once you enter Solomon's temple, you are in the boat, the ark, and you are going to practice hearing God. There's your triquetra. So you've been born again. You've been twice born, and you're at 12. You're going to get to number 13. But you have to set your raven free to see if you can find the olive branch. The black raven will never find home because the black raven reflects ego thoughts that haven't been purified. So you will continue thinking and absorbing, learning, giving, receiving, balancing male with female, because the triquetra reflects male, female, spirit. It doesn't mean sexual energy. What it means is you've connected your Adam with your Eve, becoming androgynous in the sense that you learn how to use your power without absorbing reptilian or archon energy and becoming a virus to the collective, because you put yourself in a timeline that isn't the timeline of God through belief or through interacting with people. So you have to learn how to use your power and get your power back, receiving power back. So sending out your raven and you didn't get anything back. Our thoughts must be the thoughts or mirror of God. Our heart must be the mirror of God in order to see the invisible holy dove that's connected to the triquetra. This white holy dove will be sent out and will teach you what is the word of God, what is the voice of God, what is the act of God, what is the emotion of God, so that you mirror God through this purification process. And the triquetra is becoming invisible. It is the triangle of invisibility. When you become invisible, you become illuminated. And the Gospel of Philip says that anyone who is illuminated cannot be detained or seen by the dark ones anymore. They will not see you. They cannot detain you. You cannot be harmed unless you send out thoughts that are black, and these thoughts will come back with nothing, and you will lose power. Learning how to send out these thoughts of white and your holy dove coming back with the olive branch that gives you power back to you is the only way to get past the triquetra. So what you're being told is, this is the stage that you're in. Pink, blue, and gold. Start adopting those colors and get into the triangle. Envision the tetrahedron, fill it with flame, golden flame, and really begin speaking to your higher self through imagination. Imagining sacred geometry, especially the tetrahedron that's connected to fire. Because your next step is you're going to quadruple. And this is the number 4. The quadrupling is the olive branch. Your holy dove, your higher self, your goose, has found truth. So you gave your power away with your higher self, and your higher self brought you some power back. This is the eternal flower. The eternal flower was taken by the Egyptians to look at like the Ankh. But this is the true eternal flower, sacred geometry of water and fire and eternal life. It's the eternal flower. You will find your home, you will find your purpose, and you will balance through truth and life energy. And then you will live forever. But it does take obedience. So once you've entered into Solomon's temple, where you are right now, the reason you're not wearing a hat, you have a feather on your hat. This means that you are being sorted currently. I believe through your symbols in your piece, with the white goose, let me ask specifically where you're going. The body of the goddess, according to the Egyptian Book of Gates, only the goddess has the ability to put you in a room. So, in a room of learning. You have a knife in your hand also. So you're going to be cutting energies away from you. It's really important to cut people through forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a kind act. You burn their memory, you cut them out of your life. They are simply a mirror of who you used to be. You don't want to be that anymore. Don't get into the temptation of fighting with people. Let them go. And don't bring their energy into your consciousness. So cutting people away is really going to be important for you. And I'm asking Spirit to please, here is your tetrahedron. It's a diamond. You're in the diamond. And I don't know who this is. I know that the Mayans are people, but I never saw this as a place or a goddess that's connected to what I've seen before, but I'll just tell you and I'll look it up for you. So when we were born in Yah. And then when you get sorted by the goddess, you're going to go to a place that dominates the moon. This is a place of light. So you're going to either be in Freya, Gaia. Emma Yah is the goddess from Sirius C, the dog star. She's the invisible mother. There is Sophia. And then there's Haya from Armenia. And then according to you, there's Maya. And these are all mother female goddesses that dominate Yah, which is the moon. And you will get put into one of these bodies of the goddess that will help carry souls' consciousness from the lower realm to the higher realm. You will also be doing many things. So if you're a card reader and you're a Reiki healer, all of it, you're going to do it. You're just being warned. Every time you give your power away, receive it. Listen to the voice of God. Spirit is stronger than the flesh. Spirit is immortal. Obey Spirit. Do not suffer fools. Do not allow your energy to get connected to fools. Do not allow yourself to believe a fool, a reptilian, an archon. Do not be polarized by the world. Do not allow yourself to be tethered by the world. And so you are being put into the body of Maya. And so I want you to understand something about your spirit. Your spirit is called the ethereal net. It is a luminosity that surrounds your physical body. This web of energy gets torn to shreds during daily living. Huge portions of it become lost or entwined in other people's bands of energy. If you lose too much vital force, you can become ill or die. You can do breathing. Breathing works on both the physical and the ethereal levels. So practice breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. But imagination is so important. Imagine the tetrahedron. Imagine breathing all the power that you gave away from your past and obliviate it. Burn it. It didn't exist. You're becoming a new person. So what we have to do is understand that your ethereal net can be entangled. And recapitulation is retrieving filaments of your energy from your ethereal net that have become lost or entangled as a result of just daily living. So every day before you go to sleep, every morning, you're going to take back your power. This is the art of giving and receiving, the raven and the dove. Give every time that you go and help someone, you must get your power back. And so every day you're going to focus on the interactions and pull back all that you dispersed over that day, over your entire life. And then you will start, more power you have, the more you feed your spirit, the stronger your spirit will become, the more aware you will become, the more powerful you will become, not because you want to be the great and mighty Wizard of Oz, but because you want to do the will of God. And so it's time for us to stop begging for answers. It's time for us to start doing what God wants us to do, and that is to become powerful. This is why Jesus said, you can become as powerful as me and more if you just believe. So the tower that is the number 10 is an individual that's under a mental prison that has not been born again. The number 1111 is the sun that has flipped. It's the number 22. It's the royal road. It's the master. Mother Mary has 10 letters. Jesus Christ has 11 letters. So you can see the process of 10, 11, 12, and 13. You're at 12. Your goose is looking at 13. And so it says Mars, but it says Maya. And so you're going into the body of a goddess named Maya. And the only thing that's blocking you from flesh and spirit really being perfect is some reptilian in your life or in your consciousness or somewhere around you. Anyway, you can burn them away through forgiveness. Let's do your canvas piece. This is the piece where Spirit's going to show you your divinity. Who are you in the perfect timeline? If you followed frequency of life perfectly, you should be in a timeline that works ever in your favor. District 12 never works in your favor. 13 will work in your favor. So we're going to shift you to 13, and we're going to show you what that looks like. You ready? I'm going to hear a song in my head. Maybe one lyric or one word is for you. Time. See what's become of me as I look around at all of the misery. It really frightens me. Look around. Is the ground and the sky is a hazy shade of winter. Look around. Is the ground. There's a drop of snow on the ground. Look around. If you look at the statue of Athena or of Egyptians seated, they're always standing on a platform supported by little people who are supporting them. Young souls who are in a prison supporting a higher realm. And they are miserable. They are not happy. Even Harry Potter has a piece of art that Hermione looked at of a platform, and under the platform were muggles suffering. And Hermione looked at them and said, "The muggles get what they deserve." So you aren't just you, I want you to know. You're an oracle. You're looking in a looking glass. You have your eyes closed. There are two giant angels standing beside you. These are Ethereans. They don't actually hold a human form, but they're always around you. One is a male. He has three crystals in his hands. They look like selenite. They're like blocks. They're shapeshifters. They're pointing these crystals straight at you. They look like selenite. It's the only way I can explain it. They're crystal people. Anyway, they can manifest as people in your life. They can talk to you through friends, people. They can talk through media. They have the ability, but they have these clouds above their head. They're like iCloud, and they are teaching you to become a key of Solomon. They are always with you. Here you are, and these people down here, there's in the waters that you have your elbow on, are prophecies, like a psychic, like you're a psychic. And then there's this grandmother. It's an older woman. And a dragonfly. And she's holding up this oracle. And there's a kitten. So Freya, Freya is also the kitten. And this is your knees and your body. You have the ability to become people you have the ability to bounce your consciousness through a portal to go into the mind of those who are dead. And through the power of a couple of Ethereans, cloud people who don't have a body and they don't have a name, they don't want one. They are just nothing. They don't want to be anything. This is an older woman who is helping you. She's an older woman. And so here, and there's stones, the Philosopher's Stone. You have the Philosopher's Stone. These two stones. These individuals are saying the Etherians, the smokeless, the ones that are invisible, the cloud people, they have the ability to enter you, and you have the ability to go through a portal to the lower realm to help those who are spiritually dead when they're ready. But this also has a message for you of not thinking of these people down here. Don't send your spirit self down to the lower realm also, because it will pull you down where your knees are in the lower realm. You need to be completely and utterly in the higher realm, the age of Aquarius, and leave the age of Pisces alone. However, when it is time for you to use the 5 flames that are above your head like a crown, and you have this crown, you need to practice your abilities as an oracle to hear spirit and to allow spirit to use your hands, your feet through actions. Actions are a prayer. So your knees are in the lower realm, and what these beings that are helping you are saying is your action is a prayer. Make sure cleanliness is next to godliness. Clean your house, clean your car, clean your emotions, clean your beliefs, and seek first the kingdom of God. Do not seek first the lower realm. It's good to help people. Yes, it's good to help these people. But I think in order for you to be really powerful, I know that we should help those who need help. However, it's almost as if they're saying, you can't help the Voldemort. You can't help people who won't get legs, have no legs, will not stand up. So we're not going to send our higher self to the world of the selfish blind and the ignorant and all that. You need to help those who are already ascended. Do not give your energy away or send your higher self and give away the philosopher's stone to the lower realm. This says your body is the key and your action is a prayer, and all of your actions should be life energy. Seek first the kingdom of God and become the oracle. So you have this oracle well. So the story of Odin, one of the eyes went into the well. This is the age of Pisces, the lower realm, while a larger piece was still above. The only way to come out of the waters is to become the oracle, and the oracle is the voice of God. The oracle was mentioned in the Bible 23 times. If any man speak, let them speak as the oracle. So to become the oracle, we obey God, and God does not want us to seek first the kingdom of hell. We seek first the kingdom of heaven, and we do not help those down here. We do not connect with them. We don't fight with them. They don't get to know what we think or what we feel, because they are a trap. They are a mirror of who we were, and we do not want to send our higher self, like our text, to the swamp of sadness. Seek first the kingdom of God and become a lighthouse. When these people see your light, they will come to you or not. And you will help people who are ascending and who have come into the age of Aquarius. We do not help people who are like muggles or munchkins, short of understanding. Short. Because it hurts us. It's like a virus. The corona crown is the crown. And the crown is that when you get around these people who don't have a crown, they will do everything they can to fight with you or make you love them or to connect you with them because they are dominated by an archon or a reptilian. They're under mind control. They are in a prison. They have to do the work. And so we can't have our feet down here, half here, half here. What your spirit guides are telling you is you need to fully get up and protect your crown from other people trying to get your crown. And your little kitten is possibly low self-worth. That might keep your energy down here. So self-importance up here, low self-worth down here. Here you are balanced. This is the letter W or M. If you mirror it, this is the letter M above. And M and W is the key of Solomon. So this is a promise to you that you have a spirit guide that is an ancestor that looks like a grandmother. She brings the dragonfly to you. The dragonfly means the fourth heart chakra. Dragonflies live an entire year underwater. This is the age of Pisces. Then after they're done, they come out with beautiful wings and they fly into the age of Aquarius through the fourth heart chakra. Here. This is the barrier. And so you're doing a great job in this timeline where you're closing your eyes and you're focused on the invisible world. But just remember, all of our actions are a prayer. So feed the birds if you want more seeds of information. Feed the hummingbirds if you want to time travel. Clean your house, clean your car, clean your thoughts, clean your emotions, clean your relationships. These are all actions that will get our energy away from the lower realm. And perhaps this reading is a communication that you are going to teach people how to seek first the kingdom of God so they don't send their higher self or their energy to the World Wide Web, www, the Wicked Witch of the West, where we get our energy entangled into the mind of those who are spiritually dead. We're going to learn to feed our spirit through action and through thought, which is what you are. You are a psychic, you're an oracle, you're a healer, and you're being taught by a woman and a man that holds crystals and selenite crystals, really, and doesn't have a face, but is coming to you today as a face to say, I am invisible, I am a shapeshifter. And if you call upon me, I will speak to you through people outside of yourself or through you. And so greater is spirit within you than you are in the world. Don't trust yourself. Trust spirit. Spirit is all-knowing and is a time traveler and can do many great things. And so we don't go hunting for people who need help. They actually will bring people to you. When we go hunting for people to help, it's usually a trap. So there's a golden compass down here that's part of your knee. The golden compass is the movie The Golden Compass. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. The golden compass reflects the number 8, and it means you're an oracle. 1. Number 2, in the golden compass, everyone had a spirit guide that was an animal. It's kind of like the holy dove that descended upon Christ when he was baptized. The holy dove is always a white cat, white unicorn, white elephant, white holy dove, and it is a symbol of purification, but it's also a symbol of your spirit guide. Since this is your cat, this is Freya. Freya has the cats. The golden compass is the golden age of Aquarius, and there are many different kind of communications here for you. And please be aware that you're also a bald eagle. This means you're a judge. You will meet people, and all you have to do is just say hello and talk to them. Your higher self will judge them. And some people will be judged to suffer until they hear God and grow and bounce like a thief in the night to the age of Aquarius. So I hope that this resonated with you, and we will look at your other piece. I will look at and find a number for you in Gematria that will help you to get a clearer communication from Spirit about where you're going. And the number that I see is 91988. So, just to reiterate, you were sent like a child sacrifice in some strange way. Possibly something happened. Your DNA, your crown was taken by Moloch. It was a prison. You went to Mars. You and thousands of other souls, thousands of souls, you're not alone, all went to look at this movie theater. Why it's connected to the Eiffel Tower, I don't know. And you were brainwashed. And there was the number 7, hangman. However, you've been reborn. Now you're an oracle. Now you're a healer. Now you've transformed into the body of a goddess. Now you're turning your back on reptilians. Now you are learning about soul scalping and things that the covert archons are doing to humans, which is terrible. And you're going to become brave, which if you already are, you are. There's a man who came forward to say, contracts is what keeps us to time. We need to go through Sirius B, the dog star, and balance the triquetra to go up and go through the body of a goddess to self-mastery and to become the master, walking on water, raising the dead through the flame, and the number 8 of spirit dominating flesh. So here you are, spirit dominating the flesh. It's a very wonderful story that you are more than you think. You are the holy vessel that just is obedient to the all-knowing immortal spirit realm. And so like a dragonfly, you were a water nymph that was born in the real world. You'll be a judge. You will be a healer. You are an oracle. Like Odin, you come out of the well of the magical waters. And perhaps you are really good at praying. You have your hands together in a praying position. Perhaps you are a prayer warrior. So, think about this, and you can take screenshots. And like I told you on the phone, it'll take me a week to finish it. But remember, I will make you a video explaining everything. If Spirit told me I'm wrong about the interpretation, or if Spirit has something extra to tell you that I wasn't thinking about or I wasn't aware of, then you will see that in the video. And Spirit will explain everything to you. So your spirit guides, currently the 2 energies that are helping you are the dragonfly, the bald eagle, the goose, and the cat. So this is the 4 energies from the 4 wings of the dragonfly that are helping you to find your olive branch. The 4 energies that will help you maintain consciousness where you will not be hijacked by the deceiver. All right, so let's talk. You're so welcome. Anytime you don't have a body, that's the Jinn energy, where the Quran says that we have to fight the Jinn in order for the real Spirit of God to enter us. And so that is a communication of the Jinn, the genie in the bottle. Thank you so much for the gifts. Yeah. I'm glad I nailed it. Thank you. It wasn't me, it was Spirit. But notice how there's 1 dot here, 2 dots here. When you come out of the bottom waters of the age of Aquarius or as Pisces, you get born again. Thank you so much, Loretta. Hi, Yaya. Hello, Stephanie. I love you guys. And you become two. So really the story goes like this. Once upon a time, Adam was Eve and Eve was Adam. When Eve was cut from Adam, the snake took the place of the second soul of Adam. And the snake is the jinn. That's why the Bible starts with jinn, Genesis, Gentile, and we are cursed for 7 generations. In order to get our original soul back, we have to bring Adam back with Eve. Female, male. The androgynous one self-impregnated like Jesus' mother. So we become this androgynous energy. And this androgynous energy self-impregnates and is obedient to God. We are no longer seeing evil because we're not connected to the jinn. When you fight the jinn and you win, it's not because you won, it's because you obeyed the light, the life energy, not the death energy. So being up here is a very good sign, very good. And so why you have 2 goddess bodies that one is Maya, one is Freya. I think that this is just, you're going to be, like Harry Potter went into mini classrooms. Jesus walked on water and raised the dead. I'm sure those were 2 classes that he had to take. How do you walk on water? How do you raise the dead? Seems as if Freya is a place that's going to teach us how to avoid getting sucked into the lower realm of getting our soul cut in half, like Osiris. And Maya seems to be about becoming the healer, the oracle, or the psychic. And it also, Maya is going to teach you how to cut people off of your energy, especially a reptilian, and warns us about soul scalping and not being thrown away into the Moloch, mind control. I'll tell you one more thing before we move on, and that is the golden compass. The land of Oz is a place. It's even in the Bible. They call it Oz, or they call it Uz, or they call it OS. It's an illusion. So when one eye of Odin went into the well, it was the waters of illusion. Only one eyeball went in. So a very small part of our consciousness is here. Now we're going to grow ourselves even taller since we have awoken and become twice born. We are entering the body of a goddess known as Iris. She's the goddess of the rainbow. So Oz-Iris is Osiris. Dorothy went to the land of Oz to fly like a pretty little bluebird over the 7 colors of the rainbow. Iris, the goddess of the rainbow. Glinda represents something that happens within you when you start connecting with the sun. The ray of the sun is Shua, which is also Iris, which is also the rainbow. The ray of the sun is the rainbow, Iris. So Yahshua was moon's son. Oz-Iris is Osiris, right? And Glinda represented the corona borealis. The corona borealis looks like a crown made of 7 stars, like the 7 colors of the rainbow. And the corona borealis from a telescope is a pink bubble surrounded by an emerald color, Emerald City. And the corona borealis actually has a blazing star known as the blazing star of Solomon. So if you meet Glinda in your life, she will lead you on the yellow brick road to the golden age of Aquarius. And you will have to go through the baptism of water and fire, where the broomstick was on fire and the water diminished the wicked witch. And you will fly over the 7 colors of the rainbow like a pretty little bluebird, except maybe you wear a blue dress. And the people that you meet are a mirror of all the things that are false within us. So what you're going through and what the golden compass even represents is these gods are not people. They are places that describe our ascension. And once you get to the sun, Iris, then suddenly soul, which is your soul, which is also solar, which is the sun, Oman, Solomon, the sun dominates the moon. Iris dominates Oz. Shua dominates Yah. When you get here, you will become a key. And the key is the key of Solomon. Water and fire. Spirit and flesh in a divine marriage. Now we know why Cinderella went through a divine marriage. It wasn't because she wanted to marry someone she didn't know. It was because she was leaving an old world under narcissistic control to go through a divine marriage of flesh and spirit. It is the water meets the fire. The water meets the fire. It's the key of Solomon. It's the white rabbit, Neo. And this is a wonderful story. I don't know who makes the ascension seem like you're going to go to hell and it's this judgment and all this. It's not. It's an awakening. We come out of a prison. We become an oracle. We become powerful like Christ, not because we're a jerk, but because we are obeying Christ. We are obeying the body of Christ. Jesus says, turn over a stone, and there I am also. Cut a piece of wood, and there I am also. It's a place, not a person. And this place manifests within us, and we grow our soul tall like Dorothy, and we leave the little munchkins behind who are short of understanding. And it's wonderful. But we will learn to cut people and block people and use our actions and our mind like a master. Like a master. Because the master mason is the compass and the square. And it is a master of the net. It is the letter M and the letter W. This is the net. The master of the net is an Egyptian concept. Jesus said, let us cast our nets and be fishermen of men. Interesting. That is an ancient lineage that's connected to Toth. Toth is the master architect that squares our emotions through the square and the compass, through sacred geometry. When we become a master of the net, we envision sacred geometry to talk to our higher self. And we learn that we have an ethereal net and we have a net around us. We can get caught in other people's nets, especially if you let your dog, the divine order of God, your mind, go into the garden of the reptilian wicked witch. And if we fight with the reptilian wicked witch and say, give me my dog or I'll bite you myself, we connect our energy with theirs, and then a tornado comes and messes up our torus field, which is our net. It looks like an apple. And when our torus field gets entangled with a reptilian wicked witch, then we are entangled with the World Wide Web, a wicked witch of the West. And we will have to walk the yellow brick road to grow ourselves back into the master of the world. And the M is the master mason, Mary, Magdalene, and Mithra, the master magician, the master of the world. And the tornado is that we allowed our consciousness to go into a lower realm dominated by narcissistic controls. In order to get out, we must become the oracle, go to the green heart chakra, Emerald City, and become a horse of many colors, a collective consciousness. So I would encourage you guys all to become a master of the net. Becoming a master of the net is realizing that God is word and the word is God. God is sound. God is sacred geometry. I'll give you a little quote, some little quotes about sacred geometry. I consider myself a practicing alchemist, so I study symbology only because these symbols show up in my art and I have no idea what they mean. Every human has the ability to affect the material world through sacred geometry. I'm going to say that again. Every human has the ability to affect the material world via sacred geometry. This is the physical plane. This is the divine plane. This is the physical plane. This is the divine plane. This is the physical plane. This is the divine plane. Okay. Every pleasure and every pain is associated with a sacred geometrical shape. If you want to change your pain into pleasure, you will need to know which shape to envision in order to affect your material world. There is a flame that ignites above our heads. A flame that ignites above our heads. Flame above your head. When we become twice born, we are the crown of creation. The crown of creation. We are asleep. Asleep. But must awaken. Divine consciousness, we are reduced to a microcosm level and we must focus like a laser light to hear and feel God. We activate certain energetic places on our body. Your 7 chakras look like tornadoes. They are the 7 wounds of Christ, and they are 7 points of drainage that feed the matrix. Yes, the people in the lower realm feed the upper higher realm. Yes, true. Until or if the 7 spirits of God come and seal your 7 chakras through knowledge and awakening, then your 7 chakras are not 7 points of drainage, they are 7 points of power. And you begin to learn to collect power through daily living. We begin to activate all our sacred geometrical shapes through our energetic field, through imagination. We will merge our consciousness to the consciousness of our higher self or a higher being, like a goddess. We focus inward and we see a sun at the Brahma of our brain. And we begin to practice a 0-point centering every day. During this awakening, you will be tested. You will have people testing you. And don't think it's not God. It might be. Because we have to maintain 0-point energy. So they're going to test you. Do you have self-importance? Okay. A jerk is going to come into your life and tell you you're stupid or wrong or dumb or something that would hurt your feelings. If you are moved, then you have self-importance. Or someone might leave you and you will be tested as to whether you have low self-worth, abandonment issues, victimhood. And if you can maintain your 0-point energy, you will be given gifts because you aren't going to falter. Your faith is strong. So when you begin this path, just know you will be tested. I was tested recently. I failed. And I turned that failing into what I was supposed to do. And forgiveness is not a kind act. It's an act of cutting someone out of your life, burning their memory, and not allowing them in your life, period. Sometimes. Sometimes it's about patience and understanding, but sometimes when it comes to giving our power away, we do not give anyone our power away because the dead, they have an insatiable appetite. They will feed on you forever. So balance and duality is part of it. You are the head of Christ consciousness. You are the crown of creation. We are the head of the light of the sun, and we have to use our spiritual muscles and practice it every day, especially 0 point centering. And we have to get into the torus field and the 5 platonic solids, fire, the octahedron, the hexahedron, the tetrahedron, and understand the numbers associated with them and how they affect or infect us. The grid of life design is called gold. There are certain things that you can envision, including the tetrahedron around your head, with the sun here, 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 behind your neck, and above here, to clear away all negativity and blockages every day. Because the icosahedron opens up into the M and the W. This is called the net of jewels. And the net of jewels is sacred geometry. Behind every pleasure and every pain is a sacred geometrical shape. Geo means earth. Metra is the measurement of the earth. And these measurements cause pain or pleasure. And you have a torus field that can connect with pain or pleasure. And you have to become a master of the net in order to avoid traps. And these traps are all around us. And I have failed. And I'm here to help you guys balance through the flower of life, which is the triketra, the Trinity, and to learn how to receive as much as you give, but being careful who you give your power to, or even your thoughts to, because remember, Dorothy was trapped into the Wicked Witch's world because she allowed her thoughts to penetrate the garden of the Wicked Witch. And then she fought with the Wicked Witch, and the Wicked Witch trapped her in her world. And this is how we shift timelines. We shift timelines not through curses, but through forgiveness, walking away and don't look back. We have to be real careful. Oh, I stumbled onto a trap because I met someone that I helped, and it was my self-importance that I helped him. It was me wanting to be the hero. And then he told me he had 11 jinn inside of him, like snakes moving in and out of him. And I found it fascinating. So I videotaped him, and he told me to place it on YouTube. And he told me all this stuff. And it was a trap. I should have known it. Next thing I know, I'm angry. I've got neighbors who have 40 or 50 hound dogs barking on our fence line. And I started feeling this anger. And I started saying out loud, F you dogs, shut the F up. Screaming it. I got angrier. And then my favorite dog ran across the street to my neighbor's yard. And they screamed at my dog and kicked at my dog. Well, I know these neighbors a little bit. They starve their dog. They have a dog that's starved. So I don't trust them at all. And their starved dog would come over to our house, and I would feed her and try to help them, buying her dog food and everything. Well, anyway, when they kicked at my dog, I said, don't hurt my dog. Well, the woman came over and said, don't yell at me, and threatened to kill my animals. And boy, she threw all kinds of curses at me. I just became just like her. Instead of just being quiet and walking away, I called her names. I called her a monkey. I told her she was stupid. I told her, go pray to Jesus with that foul mouth of hers, blah, blah. I fought with her like Dorothy fought with a wicked witch. And she threatened to kill my animals. The very next day, she shot my cat 3 times. Luckily, he didn't die, but I was dealing with an evil, wicked witch. So I could still fight with her, put a restraining order against her, and do all this stuff. But we have to learn our lesson. We cannot allow ourselves to get entangled into the lower realm of the reptilians or the wicked witches. Through forgiveness, we have to maintain our 0 point energy. I failed, and it was my fault. I attracted it. Same with Dorothy. So in order to shift timelines, we have to, we can't fight with anyone at all. We just laugh, have the heart of a child, move on, don't think twice, don't look back. And so that's what I'm doing. And building a big fence and putting a video camera on them and, doing purification acts of putting salt between my property and theirs and speaking things like you shall not pass or you shall not enter, whatever, because these are evil people. My cat, he was just out, he lives at Forest Ferry and he's just loving cat. And if he sees you, he flops over like, I love you. And they shot him close range 3 times and not one bullet hit his heart, his lungs, but they went straight through him. We took him to the vet and we thought we were going to lose him. He urinated all over himself. It was terrible. And luckily he's alive. One of the bullets is still in him. But these are evil people. What did the Wicked Witch want to do with Dorothy's dog? I'll put this dog to sleep. Give me that dog. I'm going to put him to sleep because you didn't obey the law. Your dog got into my garden. I'm going to put him to sleep. Is this woman not the Wicked Witch trying to trap me? Did I fail? I did. But we can learn from this, and we can always fix it by just making the decision to forgive. And forgiveness is just letting it go. Surrender, Dorothy. And we surrender and we say, all right, I'm not going to allow myself to be angry. I'm going to forgive through the fire of forgiveness. However, I'm going to use a knife. I'm going to cut you out of my life forever. I am not going to associate with you or think about you. I'm going to put a fence up. I'm going to put a camera up. I'm going to set a major boundary between you and me, but I'm going to live in peace. You will not know what I think or what I believe or know me at all. That's it. So when they come to you, you say, depart from me. I never knew you. You never knew me. They will not be able to enter into your kingdom. Our biggest lessons come from adversity. I did learn from it, but it was an anger that was welling up inside of me. I was feeling very angry. But I also have been attacked here on this app. And there's people who are saying they're my friends, and I'm seeing that they're not really my friends. There's a lot of soul scalping and mind manipulation and mental controls and things that are going on that's just annoying. So I'm just wanting to remain being invisible. Yes, the wisdom gained from the lesson, but then also spirit. I astral traveled and saw this woman. She had 4 black widow spiders on her, and they were on her, and they didn't bite me. But this is a person kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West, who would have the ability to pull my consciousness into a poisonous parasitic world. So once you have eyes on the spirit realm, you can go into someone's metaphorical house and see who they are, and then you'll know who they really are. You have a body in the physical that has a life and a program, but then the spirit realm is completely different. So you may have a friend on here that's super nice to you, but then on the spirit realm, they're after you. And they may be like really nice, but that's why the third eye and seeing through the eyes of spirit is so important, because we don't fight flesh and blood. We fight principalities and powers that we cannot see. And some people are not your friend. Some people want you to buy into their belief so that you are under their reality. It's called soul scalping. They literally scalp your consciousness and put it into a box, a trap. Oh, thank you, Cosmic Ray. Yes. Thank you, Cosmic Ray, for all your help. Cosmic Ray helped me a lot about that. And I did everything Cosmic Ray told me to do. And I did the salt and the cinnamon and all this stuff. I did everything Cosmic Ray suggested for me to do, and then I just let it go. Really didn't want to talk about it anymore. Done. Just done. And got myself back to me and to my energy. Hello, Lightwork. Yeah, we have to protect our energy at all times, because you have to see who somebody is on the spirit realm. Many of you guys have met me on the spirit realm. And it's confusing. I don't think that we're fully awake. But we're getting glimpses here and there, like twinkles of light, kind of like when you're first born, you start seeing foggy lights. Newborn eyes always cry with pain at the first look at the morning sun. Fool if you think it's over, just begun. Newborn eyes will always cry with pain at the first look at the morning sun. And so we're just starting to see. And we shouldn't think the worst, It's just that some of us don't know what we're doing either. We may be accidentally hurting each other. And so we're all making mistakes. It's okay. But if you feel like you have to protect yourself from someone that you even love, then you should, because we don't know everything yet. So congratulations, Misty. You win a triquetra coin, because you are going through, let me see if I can see it really. You are going through the triquetra. So this is a golden triquetra coin that's going to come along with your readings. You will receive this, and this will be painted, and it will be spray painted with glow in the dark paint, so it looks like a portal. So you're going to hang it right by a window during the day. It'll be beautiful and colorful and sparkly, and at night it'll look like you could put your hand through it like a portal. Because when you keep your heart illuminated and your soul is illuminated, they say that your soul actually glows in the dark. Some people say that I look like a glowing emerald light with purple sparkles. And so it'll remind you to keep your heart lit even in the darkest hour. And to remind you that if you are illuminated from the inside out, the dark ones cannot see you or detain you or pull you down in a lower realm. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to go ahead and click off, because I will say I hurt my back again. And for the last 2 days, I've been bedbound. And it's my fault. I did way too much work and I did way too much lifting. And but if I don't go lay down, it'll get worse. It's a sciatic nerve. I do have a reading every day this week. And Misty, give me a week to finish, a good 7 days to finish your reading, make your video, and to mail your reading to you, because everything is backed up. Believe in divine timing and trust that what was told to you today is something that you absolutely needed to hear, and that there may be more in your reading. I would suggest to you, though, to read about Scientology, where the Scientologists say that our souls were sent here and sent to Mars, where we watched a television program and were brainwashed. And Scientology talks about that. So there's something about that. But now it's a different story. Things have flipped and changed. And it's a wonderful thing, you guys. We're not in the prison. We're out. We just have to hear the voice of God and become the oracle. And it'll be easy like Sunday morning. Big hugs from me to you. I love you. Thank you for your support. And we will see you guys again tomorrow. Let me see what time. Tomorrow is 3:30, 3:30, 3 o'clock. So every single day at 3 o'clock or 3:30, we will have a live reading. If I'm feeling well, I will give a free reading to you guys, a collective reading or an individual reading, depending on what spirit wants and depending on whether my back hurts or not. If my back is hurting, we can do a free reading while I'm laying in bed. We did it Monday, so. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. And thank you so much, Misty, for what the blueprint of your soul had to teach all of us today about the ascension, the awakening, and about the balancing of the triquetra within our heart and within our lives. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye.